Tomorrow, the Supreme Court is hearing a case that could seriously change the way we vote, potentially gutting the 1965 Voting Rights Act again. No, I'm not talking about the controversial Moore v. Harper case. I'm talking about the other one that hasn't gotten as much attention but is just as important, the Merrill v. Milligan case. This case is out of Alabama and challenges the 1965 Voting Rights Act. In this one, Alabama lawmakers redrew a congressional district map after the 2020 census as required. Well, that map included only one majority black district, even though black Alabamians make up over a quarter of the state's population. Now, according to our founding fathers, we all know representation should be based on population and should be proportional. And then there's Section 2 of the 1965 Voting Rights Act, which bans state and local governments from limiting voting rights on the basis of race. That means state and local governments are not allowed to draw new congressional maps that could dilute the vote by either intentionally splitting up communities of color amongst several districts or by lumping them all into one district. Now, because of that new map, black voters and advocacy groups sued the state of Alabama, alleging race-based gerrymandering, and said the new map diluted black political power. In January, a panel of federal judges, which was dominated by Trump appointees, threw out the Alabama map, saying it was illegal, and directed the Alabama state legislature to draw a new map. Alabama appealed to the Supreme Court, arguing that ruling would amount to creating a racially segregated district, and they say that violates the Constitution too. And in February, the Supreme Court overruled those judges in a 5-4 vote and said Alabama could still use that voting map while the case continued to play out in lower courts. That means that map is being used in this November midterm election, and the case is really about whether that map can continue to be used until the next census in 2030. And depending on their ruling, the justices could deliver a major blow to the landmark 1965 Voting Rights Act. The Supreme Court will hear oral arguments in Merrill v. Milligan tomorrow. You can listen to it live on supremecourt.gov. A ruling isn't likely to come down until June.